Hello there! Welcome back to another video! This week we're doing the third part in my 5-part growing up series, and in this week's drawing we're going to be drawing me at age 15. I wanted to start off this video by telling you that my age 15 stage, and it was sort of a bit of age 14, a bit of age 16 as well. It was kind of an outlier stage in my growing up story. I consider it sort of my party phase, because it's around that time that in Latin American countries, or in Latin American culture, we have all these 15th birthday party celebrations, which are kind of a very extravagant kind of, in capital letters, big deal. So yeah, and I went to schools with people that kind of really took this stuff seriously and had a bit of like there was a lot of tradition, and they kind of did save up a lot of money. Like, it was very over the top looking back, but there were very fancy parties, so I had to, high heels, big dresses, trying to learn my way around some makeup, even though I hadn't the slightest clue what I was doing in hindsight. Can you believe that I only learned how to do eyeliner on my upper lid kind of when I was 18, way past the point where I was doing the party thing? But anyway, so this one's going to be the only illustration in the series where I'm wearing shoes, and it's also going to feature some eyeshadow, which I'm kind of really proud of how I depicted, if I do say so myself. The high heels, the party dress, kind of turned away from the camera. I'm kind of thinking that it represents, the pose sort of represents how I'm kind of turning a little bit of my back on things that are more myself. It's not that I wasn't being true to myself, because I don't really have it in me to not be true to myself, but yeah, it was very much unlike me, the way that I kind of was doing things when I was 15. But yeah, I hope you've been enjoying this series so far, if you've been keeping up. If you've not been caught up, I did 2 videos before this, one with drawing me at age 5 and one with drawing me at age 12. Age 5 I was a happy little floating fairy camper of a little girl, and age 12 I was an angsty emo little I hate the world brooding preteen. And then now we have age 15, where I'm in my so-called party phase. Another thing about this so-called party phase is that I changed up my hair quite a lot, and this was the start of journeying into doing my hair how I want to do my hair, less of how my mum thought that my hair should be, because when you're a child, you do what your parents tell you, sort of thing. You look how your parents want you to look, you dress in the clothes that they buy for you. But here I started going more like I lived in Brazil most of my pre-teenhood, so in Brazil my hair salon was kind of like my second family. I was there fairly frequently. It wasn't that expensive compared to how it is in Canada, so I got my hair done quite frequently. I got like keratin treatments, I got highlights, I gave it trims all the time. So when we get onto the colouring, you're going to see how I have some little blonde highlights put through it that I wouldn't ever put back in my hair now, because just bleached hair without putting colour in it, like, what was I thinking? And yeah, my bangs are cut. Before, you just saw me draw them in the age 12 and age 5, and you just saw them tuck it behind my ear. You wouldn't really see any kind of strands flaking out outside of that, but here it is a little, because it's cut now, it's not just tucked behind my ear. And also, it's the first introduction to the glasses. It feels like a bit of a misrepresentation to only have these types of glasses in one of the illustrations, because I wore them from, I think, when I was 14 until I was 17 and a half, something like that. I wore the glasses that are just kind of a wire frame on the top half, and then they don't have any sort of frames, it's just the lenses hanging off by themselves on the bottom half, and they're kind of more narrow from up to down kind of thing. They're not that like square, they're not hipster glasses. But then after this, again when I was 17, I switched over to the hipster glasses, not by choice, because when I went to get my lenses changed, they broke the frames, and so to make up for that, they offered me some like free replacement frames based on of this selection. And the only thing in that selection that was anything that I would ever consider wearing, because most of them were either sportsy glasses or childish glasses, the only ones I would consider wearing from there were the hipster glasses. So, and then after I started wearing the hipster glasses, I got too used to how tall they are, how much more kind of vision I could get from them, so I can't really go back to the more narrow frames after that. So, but yeah, that's it for the glasses and this stage of my development, which I actually wore for a good bit of my glasses wearing career, if you want to call it a career. What else can I say about this? I'm not too happy with these hands. Well, this one hand, the other one's hidden behind supposedly the arm, I don't know. I'm not too happy with it. I am really happy with the slight twist in terms of my spine, so you can see sort of my bum but you can't see like the back of my neck kind of thing. And the legs I'm also quite happy with. You kind of saw me copy over when I was doing the sketching, so you copy over the heel, because the one high heel turned out really nice, but then the other one I was having trouble with because it was at a different angle. But when you're wearing that style of high heel, I think they're called pumps, they don't really bend it to your foot that much. That's what makes them sort of uncomfortable. But so it's sort of, it makes sense to just like flip it over and rotate it a little bit. That dress, I still fit in that dress, and it's honestly my favourite dress that I own. I have a couple of like less dressy, more casual kinds of dresses that I can wear, but this one, it's a little bit more dressy than the other dresses I might wear more often, but it's honestly my favourite dress. It fits my body, the shape of my body so nice, and the stripes, they say that horizontal stripes make you look wider, but I don't think that's the case for this dress. I don't know why, I just really like it, and it's also really comfortable. I don't get uncomfortable in it. It's easy to zip up and it's not a big deal to put on. I have a couple that are kind of intricate in terms of like straps and stuff that are a pain to put on, but yeah, this dress is my favourite dress. Here I am putting the highlights in the hair. So those highlights that I just put in are the natural highlights, like the highlights that come from the lighting, and then the ones in yellow that I added are the ones that I've got dyed in. And I think there's a very clear distinction between the two, which I'm very pleased with how that came out in terms of the illustration. I'm still eyedroppering the colours from the previous week's illustrations. I think I've used my age 5 illustration for all of my eyedroppering, so then I'm just eyedroppering from the, because there's a chance that you, like every time you eyedrop it and then you shade on top of it, there's kind of a bit of contamination. So if I'm eyedropping from the same place every time, I find that it's more consistent. Here with the eyes, I'm doing them in the same format that I've done the other ones, where I do the white shape and then I lock the alpha and then I shade the white and then I start with the pupil with 3 tones. Here I'm closing all the way around with the black of like supposedly my lash line. I'm closing it all the way around because to represent the lower eyeliner. I think it gets kind of covered up by the glasses later on, but it looked pretty, smoky and smexy when I was doing it in this stage. But yeah, you can't really see that the eyeliner gets closed all around after the glasses. There were brown frames at that stage, I'm quite sure. I had white frames or silvery frames before I got those brown ones, but yeah, I liked both of them back when I could actively wear them. When I was 12, I started wearing a couple rings and a necklace, which I've been reflecting. Well, the necklace isn't really drawn in this one because of the angle. It wouldn't really show that much, I don't think. So, but the ring's there. That ring, I still wear it to this day. Actually, I started when I was like 11 or 10, and I haven't taken it off since. And I think might come the eyeshadow pretty soon, I hope. So that made me really happy when I did that. I was really proud. Oh, and some pink in the lips. I didn't put any pink in the lips in any of the other ones, but this one I'm supposed to have like lip gloss or something, so pink in the lips. Hello. There's the eyeshadow. Look. Eyes, that's so cute. I should draw some like portraits with like more fancy makeup. Well, technically most of my drawings could sort of have like some eyeliner, some mascara, some foundation, highlighter, maybe some contour, I'm not quite sure. Technically all of my depictions of faces have that, but yeah, I'm quite happy with colourful eyeshadow. We're about finishing up here, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure you watch the other installations in this series if you haven't yet. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think, and I'll see you next week.